Well, good evening, everyone. We're gonna go ahead and get started here. My name is Chloe Sheevy. I'm the intern here for Helicon West. I'm really behind the mic, so you probably haven't seen my face a lot. But Helicon West is an uncensored public reading series. We host published authors and community writers to showcase all levels of skill and craft. We welcome open mic readers. We welcome donations to keep Helicon West going, and you'll find a QR code link in the back on those small bookmarks if you would like to donate. Please help yourself to some Cafe Ibis coffee. It's decaf, so you won't be up all night. And also be sure to use a lid on your cups just so we can keep our floors nice and clean. Helicon West humbly acknowledges that we are here on the territory of the northwestern band of the Shoshone Nation. We are grateful for our sponsors and partners, Sugar House Review, the Logan Library, the USU English Department, Cafe Ibis, and many community volunteers. For information, interviews, and more, visit our webpage, heliconwest.wordpress.com. And then also during our event, please keep the back doors closed when people are sharing their work. Now I'm going to have Anna Nelson from the Stokes Nature Center come up and introduce our program for today.
Thank you, Chloe.
Thanks, Chloe.
Hello, everybody. I'm so excited that you are all here today. We've got a good program, I think. So, I am going to read my spill. So if you were here last time, bear with me, but for all the new faces, this is kind of introducing why Stokes Nature Center is here and a little bit about what we're doing this year. So thank you to Star, Joseph, Woody, and Chloe, and of course Helicon West for having us tonight. I'm just going to give a quick intro to the Stokes Nature Center and why we're here. So we at the Stokes Nature Center are here tonight as part of our Big Read series. Stokes Nature Center was awarded a Big Read grant from the National Endowment for the Arts to help connect people with nature through the written word, focused around work in the You Are Here Poetry in the Natural World. We have copies back there, and they're free, so if you want one, take one. We also have a lot, so if you have someone who you know loves poetry or nature, you can grab one and give it to your friends or your family. It's super beautiful. Each book has a bookmark with more information. I don't know if the bookmarks are in here currently, but we do have all of the information of our Big Read events on our website, and if you have any questions, you can feel free to ask me after. We are going to have bookshop clubs, writing workshops, nature walks, and all of our events go all the way until July. And you certainly don't need a book to come to any of the events, as the main goal is to simply connect everybody with nature through writing, which makes this venue perfect for this event. So tonight, our theme is going to be Nature is Everywhere. So to explore this, I'm going to read a poem from the book. Then we're going to have 5 to 7 minutes of free write time. And if you need a notebook or if a clipboard, we have pens and notebooks over there. You're more than welcome to grab as you work on your writing. And then we're going to spend some time doing some writing workshopping. If you came last time and you brought your work, you're welcome to look for support or feedback on that piece or what you write today or anything else that you brought. Then we're going to use the rest of the time for the open mic. So I know that was a lot of information, so here's a short version. I'm going to read a poem from this lovely book, then we're going to do some free writing, then some paired workshopping, then we're going to transition to the open mic. So this poem that I'm going to read tonight is called 20 Minutes in the Backyard, and it's on page 135 if you want to follow along. And it's by Alberto Rios. The house sparrow flies to the ground to get the seed that has fallen from the feeder. In doing so, it flies through a bit of spider web, which works as something like a phone call to the spider, who then answers with a hello, careful and very quiet, but nobody is there. This happens to a lot of spiders. It makes them grumble about the neighbors who walk across the spider's curious lawn. But the complaint is hollow sometimes. Someone is indeed there, a fly, a moth, any number and manner of very small beast. They try to run away, but are tripped up by the long, thin fingers of the web. The small thing quivers, asks politely, please, to be let go, followed by a sincere apology. But a spider does not have ears. This explains why it does not hear the house sparrow. Swoop up into the air, high enough to reach the spider. Few leaves rustle. While the whole world simply moves forward, this is the Saturday business of the immense backyard conglomerate at work. If one listens, one might hear the great, bustling city of it all, the small sirens and screams, the caterpillars backing up, the geckos at their mysterious work. So, this next section, we're going to be working on our free writing. So I'm going to give you about 5 to 7 minutes on this, and I do have a prompt that goes with our theme. And if you want to look at the prompt, I do have copies for everyone that you can take to look at. But our theme tonight is nature is everywhere. So here's some prompts to help you guide your free write. What do you see in nature? What do you feel in nature? How does nature around you interact with the nature in you? And how does nature see you? So with those in mind, and I'll pass these out, I'll give you around 5 to 7-ish minutes to kind of work on your work, just thinking about nature is everywhere.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, so hopefully you were able to get a little bit of thoughts on some paper, just some writing, thinking about nature is for everyone. Next we are going to do some paired writing workshopping, and this could be workshopping from your work today, or your work from last time, or anything that you've been working on lately, as far as your writing goes. And I would like you, this is where it gets really hard, but I would like you to pair up with somebody that you maybe don't know as you talk with this. And I know this can be very challenging because it is for me, but then you can hear maybe a different perspective or a different point of view. And before you pair up, just remember that this is someone's fresh writing, or it's just the writing in general. So keep everything you hear in mind, and then just remember, just think about what type of feedback you like. So do you want only positive feedback, constructive criticism, or to hear what's elicited for the recipient? And then you can, if you have a preference, let that person know so they can give you the feedback that is most helpful to you. So we're going to do that for a couple minutes. So go ahead and find a partner, and we're going to workshop for about 8-ish minutes.
About 8, so that's 4 minutes each.
Yes, 4 minutes
Okay.
each.
Okay.
8 to 10, so. All right. You need to do a group of 3, do a group of 3.
Yeah.
It's kind of nerve-wracking, but it's awesome.
That's awesome.
So you have Utah State University. Is that where you're studying poetry?
All right, everybody, wrap up your final thoughts. We're going to bring it all together again. So hopefully that brought you some new insights into your written word. But next we are going to be doing our open mic. And so I'll wait one more second to let everybody finish up.
Do you want to just write our names down, or do you want to pass the sheet around, or how are we going to do that?
Yes, let's pass the sheet around.
Okay.
Do you want to grab it, Joseph, and start getting that passed around while I kind of explain how this is going to work for those of you who haven't been here before. So I'll be announcing readers in groups of 3, so we'll just do 3 at a time. And as I've mentioned this before, but I'll say it again, if you'd like to share what you wrote in your free write, you're more than welcome. You're also more than welcome to write, to read what you worked on last time, or if you brought any other reading or writing that you've done that you want to share with the group, regardless of what it is. We want to hear it because this is, I don't know, it's exciting. We want to hear your work because we love it. So each reader will have up to 7 minutes, and if you go past the 7 minutes, we're going to politely clap you off the stage so that everyone can have some time to share as well. And also, if you do not wish to be recorded for the YouTube archive, please let us know before you go up, and we'll make sure to turn that off so that you don't get recorded. So without further ado, let us start our open mic. We're going to finish getting this list sent around, and then I will also, after it's done, I read off of it. If you change your mind and you decide you want to read, it's available all through the time. So if you want to read after and you haven't put your name on the list, you can hurry and put it down while people are reading. So let me see. I'll just read the first 3 names and then we'll keep passing it around. So first, and I do apologize if I pronounced any of your names wrong, because I've been known to do that before. So first we have Chloe Sheeb, and then Allie Moss, and Star. So, and then we'll keep passing this one. Hello again.
Hi, Chloe.
Yeah, I'll just read what I wrote during the free write. It's very, very short. I see my father in nature because I can't find him anywhere else. We found the Milky Way once, near that big house in the middle of nowhere, the one with the large front yard and enough snow to dig a cavern under. I can't recall ever seeing the Milky Way before then or even after. That clouded swirl across the midnight sky was only visible when surrounded by dark, only tangible when I was actively looking for it.
I am also going to just read what I wrote. We'll probably workshop it more later. My breath echoes the wind echoes breath. The flush in my cheeks speaks of the fire that convinces the tulips to bloom, that burns a forest down. The earth is steady beneath my feet, balancing my erratic heartbeat, as the rain replenishes my tears. Hush, child, she whispers. You are safe in the storm. Rage, child, she comforts. They won't cage us anymore.
Hi, I'm Star.
Star's one of the founders of Helicon West.
We've got 20 years. Isn't that fantastic? 20 years of reading stuff. The piece that I wrote this evening and that Allie and I worked on together is about spiders. On the couch in the parlor, a spider, legs like a tick's, body tiny, glossy brown. How did it get in? The nap of the fabric holds it tight, no bigger than a fingernail clipping. On the bathroom floor, a stark white spider crouched next to the baseboard. So white, it's like somebody frosted it with confectioner's sugar. I step closer to look. It sidewises itself under the baseboard. I wait. It moves out again, slow as a lazy blink. One day I step out the back door, a wolf spider falls from its place on the top of the screen, its fine string swinging to land on my shoulder. I see, I cringe, I'm fascinated. Spiders know I'm here before I know they are there. And I thank you. And I brought one to read for you also that I've already completed, and it's titled Saying No. I'll preface this by saying that I used to write poetry differently. I now write prose poem memoirs, so all of my poems are coming out a little more horizontally than I ever had them come out before. So, Saying No. When Mrs. Smith asked me to be a fourth grade class representative, I said no. She asked why not. I said I can't, because my mother can't leave work at King's Variety Store to come pick me up from school. That might have been true, but the real truth was I was afraid. Mrs. Smith chose Vicki Evans in my place. I idolized Vicki Evans. Then I found out that Gordon Palmer was the other representative from our class. I had a crush on Gordon. I felt bad for saying no to Mrs. Smith. For decades, I felt guilty for letting Mrs. Smith down, and I felt guilty for letting myself down. She wouldn't have chosen me if I hadn't been worthy of the honor she tried to bestow on me, but I didn't feel worthy. It wasn't the first time I said no, but most people don't take no for an answer. They made me do what they wanted anyway. For example, my 8-year-old baptism. I said no, but nobody heard me. That's when I realized I needed to learn to say no with authority. I said no to my 5th grade teacher, Mr. Moser. Mr. Moser was tall and dark and solemn. I was leery of him, but I stood up to him. I challenged him in front of the other students. One day, Mr. Moser gave a test about cleanliness in the household. I was going to ace this test. I was the queen of clean, the one who swept, dusted, vacuumed, washed dishes, did laundry, cleaned the bathroom. My mother appreciated me to no end. In this test, we had to explain how to keep germs away by washing dishes correctly. Should we use soap or just water? I consulted with Mother after Mr. Moser marked my answer as incorrect. I said that if the water was hot enough, we wouldn't need soap. I came back to school the next day with my mother's authority as a decades-long farm wife. With hot enough water, you don't need soap. Mr. Moser did not disagree. He said nothing. I was proud of myself. I had beaten him at a test in which he, a no household duties breadwinner of the 1960s, could not compete. After I stood up to Mr. Moser, I stood up to the solemn men and women of my family's traditional religion, said no to being married in the way my upbringing demanded, sealed to a man in secret rites at a Mormon temple, virginal, obedient, miserable on earth, and stuck with some mouth of God abuser for all eternity. And then I said yes to a non-Mormon marriage, and found out my husband was a Jack Mormon with all the behaviors and beliefs of male dominion over women. It took 23 years of "I'll take the kids away from you if you divorce me" threats from him for me to know and oh enough to leave. Takes a good no to correct a bad yes.
Great. Next up we have Pam. Oh no, you told me how to pronounce your name so many times. Liat. Yes? Okay. And Jan.
All right.
Hi, this is from the prompt tonight, and thank you. When I walk down my street, I see birds at the feeders, sparrows and small birds, mourning doves, a robin. Early spring there are hummingbirds, buzzing back and forth, diving in and around the bright red feeders, flit from my house to the next house that feeds them, sometimes playful, sometimes seeming to scare off other hummingbirds. Don't worry, there's enough food for everyone. The sunflower seeds that fall from the feeders sprout up in the grass. All summer long they look to the sun, as do I when I'm outside appreciating nature. The sun is nature's mother. It provides warmth and comfort for all of us in nature. That's as far as I got, but I'll work on more.
Oh, fantastic.
I'm Liat, I'm happy to be here. I'm an Israeli and American.
All right.
My poetry is a little bit different. I like short, everything. Short. All the way to God, all the way to the sun, all the way to the moon, all the way to the forbidden fruit. Yes, the way to the Garden of Eden is my nature. Thank you.
Hello.
Hi, Jan.
So this is what I wrote tonight, and then I have another piece. This is very short. I called it "This is Nature to Me." Colors, pure and pristine. Sounds, quiet and melodious. Smells, dank and pungent. Touch, spiny and crisp and soft and hard. Nature is sensory supreme. Well, this is a piece I wrote last summer, actually. It's called "My Favorite Childhood Outfit." When I was 6 years old, my mother took me to a movie at the Army Base movie theater. I don't recall why I got dragged along. Maybe she couldn't find a sitter. It was a blockbuster movie of the day, and I guess she was anxious to see it. As for me, well, not so much. It was the epic film Cleopatra with Richard Burton and Elizabeth Taylor. There were a lot of behind-the-scenes scandals about the movie. Cost overruns, co-stars embarking on a salacious affair with each other, bad reviews, etc. I didn't know this at the time, but read about it later in my life. My mom had a lot of entertainment magazines around the house, and I used to read all of them. Well, usually I merely looked at the pictures. But what I did know is that I hated that movie. It was boring and long, and I probably made sure my mom realized how unhappy I was. She must have felt guilty because a week later she took me again to the movie theater. She assured me I would love this movie. It had Debbie Reynolds in it. Debbie was my favorite actress at the time. The movie was The Unsinkable Molly Brown, and after the first 30 minutes I felt once again deceived by my mother. The movie was boring, a lot of silly singing going on, and the part Debbie played was ugly and vulgar. My mom kept telling me to hold tight, that it would get better. And boy, did it ever. It became my all-time favorite movie. I learned to sing all the songs. I even had the soundtrack album. This was years before tapes and CDs. I resaw that movie every chance I got. My mother had redeemed herself after all. Then when I was 10 years old, we were spending a few weeks in the summer in Logan, Utah. The Valley View Music Hall had recently opened in Woods Cross, just north of Salt Lake City. It was a live theater in the round. My mom managed to get tickets to see a live performance of The Unsinkable Molly Brown at that venue. I wasn't at first too keen, as my girl Debbie wasn't performing. It was starring someone named Jane Powell, a Debbie look-alike, who was also a Hollywood star. But Harv Presnell, who had been in the movie, was performing in the production. My mom, my grandma, and I decided to make a day of it. We drove down to Salt Lake City to have lunch at the rooftop of the famous Hotel Utah. It was very fancy and very good. I used all my best manners and had a delightful time. Next, we went to the performance. It was something spectacular. I had never seen theater in the round, and to this day think it is one of the very best ways to experience live theater. Other than Debbie not being there, it was very much like my beloved movie. All the same songs, the same story, and the same glorious costumes. My mom bought me a new outfit for our big day. I was a tomboy and hated dresses, but in those days a young lady needed to wear a dress to an outing like we had. Since I hated shopping, my mom would go to the store and pick up 2 or 3 outfits and bring them home for me to try on. I wish someone would do that for me today. The one I picked out was a 2-piece suit, which consisted of a pleated skirt and a jacket that closed in front with a little silver chain. The suit was linen, and it was cornflower blue, which perfectly matched my eyes. Underneath, I wore a lacy white blouse with a Peter Pan collar. I wore white anklets and white Mary Jane shoes. My long blonde hair sported a matching cornflower blue ribbon. I truly felt, in that wonderful magical outfit, that I was channeling Debbie's real-life daughter, Carrie Fisher, who was my exact same age and who I had read about in those movie magazines.
All right, next we have Katie, Daniel, and Tim.
Hello, my name is Katie Robinson. I'm gonna look a little bit like a dork, but I'm gonna wear this parka. So.
All right. It's nice.
The only begotten Son of the Father. Him, the golden string through the shadowy path into divine light. The way, it's beautiful, it helps me realize I'm on the best path, his path. Repeated messages. You were hurt, but you are healing, and I will help you to persevere. God is aware of you, and you are here for a reason. You are mine. The darkest days and nights transitioning into heavenly light with the brightest dawn. I'm not just observing my past day or become the present. I'm not just guessing my future now as the skies above become my day and get me through night like the moon, and certain as the sun, the most solemn and sacred witness in the heavens and throughout all the earth. Established forever, he lives always above and yet ever near, here and beyond, looking and seeing, perceiving everything, now past and ahead, with and for me. My life needed to submit to his divine plan. He changes the ending of all entanglements. Listen for the door, coming to you at this very right moment. His divine gift of eternal light and life that rose me from all the darkest shadows and ashes, thanks to him. Ooh, trying to open this. And this one is called I Will Look Up Again. The darkness is theirs now, not mine to carry. I will look up again, since I'm seeing it everywhere, whether it is a coincidence, fate, synchronicity, or God, for myself. I prefer to believe in what helps my healing, happiness, and growth, not living in fear or believing in my ego. Then this one is called The Sacrament. Looking and breaking through the darkest scarlet or purest red, even beloved in my gray from black to midday purest white. Four-starred birth, gifts, childhood in the land of nativity. Sheep-crossed dove in ministry out of body. Transaction holy by his no to the chains and iron. Safe as sound, the burial empty. Holy water by sacred fire. It isn't burned. It can't be consumed. Like a burning bush. I loved the contradiction. Like drops in the river, the floodgates of heaven are open. My love is being given unto you as my body, with the drawing of the voice. Every bread rake is sacred consumption to be consumed. Holy voice. Truth is breaking through, past blood and fears and empty years. A sacred future is procured. A messenger from God. Your struggling is acceptable to me and turning consecrated like olive oil. There is always hope. You're safe with me and those who truly love you. For sacred remembrance forevermore, we must utter these words of faith, a prayer that cannot be extinguished. Thank God, and blessed be God. I am fearful, but I am breaking through. I don't need or want a grand destiny. I just want me and others to heal by you. We all saw what we needed to see. When rather than if. Like joy, universal at its core, from this light snow, and a Pentecost in the sunset. We are weak, he is strong, he lifts us up through the air to the stars because it is lighter now. Then I think I have time for one more, and this one is called Bruce's Healing. A mountain with an arrow of snow on top, rocky slants, shards of wood, campfire faith. A flame that cannot be extinguished. What does it mean, reaching walls? A concealed reaction and reflection, a whole new world of feeling. It is the smell of a forest, someplace very beautiful, such a sacred name. I was tired when I remembered the memory, because a lot came at once. But it was transformative, good and bad. Heavy, but I can lift it now. Inspiration like a robin, writes a song that calls to me like a heartbeat. Tears, after all, heal or fix illusions. Overall, I love to explore the mysterious connection of all things, even amid the feeling of knowing, struggle, and war. Where do I belong? Because I still don't know. In the glare of time, anywhere in the world, the short, intense time with long time echoes. A lot of clarity before the fire, precipice meeting crossed. To watch the sunset with the God and the clouds, you can't pause fire. Every snowflake is a messenger from God. There is always hope. He has already set you free. You're safe with me. Again, and for the first time. Thank you.
My name is Daniel Hosu. I actually was gonna read two little poems. This one is called Snowstorm that I wrote today as part of that free write. It actually answered all 4 questions, and it says that snow is falling, nature's elemental magic, turning water into multifaceted stars. I feel safe at home, restored by fresh winter snow that falls as a gift on a weary soul. Snow is everywhere. In my soul, it snows with art and creative writing, as outside I see a mirror of my inner self. Nature sees me as a vital extension of her glorious giving self. And then I am actually a workaholic. I work too much, so I wrote this one a little while back. It's not related so much to nature, but if you take Logan Canyon, you'll understand a little more. Heavy burdens are not easy to carry. Roads ahead diverge and twist. Weariness is my companion over many miles of travel. Recreation is not luxury, knowing God bids me rest.
Joseph.
And then realized it's probably the title. Sleeping, quiet, hibernating nature, but summer awake. The rabbit in a new white coat with large snowshoe fluffy feet hides. The fox who didn't get a new coat for the season, standing out in a red jacket, freezes, black-tipped ears alert, listening, then carefully raises up on hind legs, a silent statue, then dives for a frosty meal. You got this.
Hi, I'm Candace, and I'm not a writer.
Hi, Candace.
That's all right.
Vegetation, animals, rocks, lots of dirt, wind sunned, hot, cold, wet. A wild bobcat pounces on the trail in front of me and scampers up a tree, frightens me half to death. I wonder where his mommy is. It growls with his wild eyes big and wide. It yells at me to go away. See you secretly, spying without care. Thanks.
Okay, well, thank you everyone who shared. We'd love to hear it, and thank you for everyone for coming. I just wanted to tell you about the next Helicon West event. It is on February 12th, so mark your calendars. Marianne Hales Harding is going to read from Halfway to Heaven, and Emily Wheeler is going to read from her selection of her books that she's written. So that's going to be super exciting.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that anybody needs to know?
Is it open mic as well?
Yes, there will be open mic as well. Open mic every Helicon West, right?
Yep.
Yes, always open mic. So bring your stuff because we want to hear it.
That's right.
And yes, so that is everything that we have today. If you want more of the Stokes Nature Center events, we have a poster that has that on there, but also just remember February 12th, another Helicon West event. And last but not least, if we can get some help stacking the chairs, makes cleanup go a lot faster. And thank you all for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anna.